pieces, the more sound effects, and then Mike, the role of Mike was to create the more symphonic type of orchestration, and the more constructed compositions that had like a beginning and verse and chorus and so forth and so on. And then we put all these tracks together. And back then, we didn't have a computer to edit it or to sequence. So we used to cut the tape and edit the tape, and then paste everything on.
Like the Teal and the Stereo style of famous producer.
Well, it was quite conducive to the rings because the rings, as you can see, were completely separate and not connected to one another. And there were spaces in between these things. So we knew physically we had to not only mix or think in this way, but in terms of making it so that the listener gets this feeling as if you're jumping from ring to ring without blending into the other one. So the music had to be very choppy, very segmented. So editing the tape was actually quite convenient. And the way that we did it was that we would not compose the track thinking about the entire track as a whole. We would compose different parts, and then paste them up on the wall, and then compose another part, and then paste it up on the wall. And then it was my job to take them all together.
Create a collage out of them, all the pieces.
Exactly, very cubist type of way of doing it. And then, and so that was the soundtrack. And
And this recording came out in 1992, correct?
This was at the beginning of 1992.
Okay.
And if you guys can remember, at the time, I mean, it was really the high point of the rave era, and you could hear some of the tracks kind of leaning in that direction because we thought that maybe it would be more accepted quicker. But then we also really wanted to experiment with analog keyboards and sounds and sound effects and all types of things. So we were trying to find the balance between the two. In the end, the more commercial, more rave tracks won over the more experimental ones. We had always planned to have a tour to promote the album. There was always the idea, even back then, to